What's up, guys? Mike Krzich here, and today I wanted to talk about the evolution of an insurance agent. So I'm going to be talking about my evolution as an insurance agent, how my marketing and sales has evolved over time, what I've learned, and how you can implement some of the things I've learned in order to have more net profits. And that's what the main thing I'm going to be, if you really boil it down, the main thing that I've learned is how to have high net profits, not to write a gazillion policies a month and to make 200K gross, right? But then to spend 150,000 on leads, so then you net only 50,000, right? I'm going to talk about actually take home pay, the formula to net over $100,000 every single year as a life insurance agent. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. So there's really three phases to my evolution. Number one, organic only, which what organic is organic is not using paid or leads or any form of advertising where you have to pay for. Okay. So basically the first stage was me going out and generating leads without spending any money. Does that make sense? Number two was using paid leads only. And the third stage, the last stage of the evolution, okay, it was using a mixture of organic and paid leads. All right. So phase one, organic only. So with organic only, I generated appointments and sold policies through free methods only. Again, organic means free, okay? Or almost free, okay? So I didn't pay for advertising or leads, even though I had a good amount of money saved up in the bank where I could actually afford leads if I wanted to. But when I was brand new, I just didn't think it was a good idea to invest a bunch of money when I didn't know how to sell life insurance. I didn't know if it was going to work. I didn't know if I was going to be good at it. I didn't know if everything was just a bunch of scams. You know, I had no idea what to expect. And so the better way for me to do it, to start in the industry, was actually, a lot of people don't know, but it was starting off with organic only methods. It was definitely a lot slower than when I was buying leads, but I was able to learn and sell my first policy and policies without going broke, right? So the methods that I used, that I was taught, included cold calling on an auto dialer, all right? Which I know a lot of people maybe out there don't like cold calling, and that's fine. I'm going to be talking about some other things that I've learned to do. So right here, what I would do differently if I could go back in time, all right, and with keeping all the knowledge that I have now and go back in time and redo it, I would still do the cold calling because it is a very fast way to talk to a lot of people. It's a very fast way to fill the pipeline, but it does take some thick skin. So it isn't for everybody, right? But what I would do is I would diversify the organic methods to include appointment generating activities such as LinkedIn and Facebook outreach. Okay. Secondly, I would find a high net worth niche so I could be seen as more of an expert. Okay. Instead of just specializing in final expense or specializing in mortgage protection, right? Those are such broad niches that it's very hard to be seen as an expert in those because, I mean, almost every life insurance agent out there, you know, specializes in those two niche demographics, right? So by boiling down a niche to find an unsaturated niche that not only where you could be seen as an expert because you could be the only person that, you know, the people that you're talking to has heard of specializing in their niche. But secondly, you would make more money per sale because you would want to find a higher net worth niche. Okay, so you're talking to people with more money. People with more money have more need. They need more life insurance and they can afford more coverage. Okay. So you'd make more money per sale, right? So again, these organic methods, if I were to go back in time and do them, they would be slower, right, than just buying a bunch of leads and spending a bunch of money on leads. But one thing that I've realized is if I was making 3 times the profits per sale, well, guess what? It would be much more profitable doing it this way. Even though I would be talking to less people, selling less policies, making less presentations, okay? Number one, I wouldn't have any lead costs, right? So that expense right there, that's a huge expense that takes away from net profits, right? That wouldn't be a factor. And then also I wouldn't have a bunch of drive time and things like that because I wouldn't be seeing as many people. And I'd be, again, making more money per sale, okay? Much more net profits for the effort put in doing it this way, okay? And by the way, I've been doing LinkedIn outreach for over 3 years and almost, a while. And I've definitely changed what I've done over and over and over again. I've gotten better and better and better over time. And I've nailed it down. I started doing LinkedIn outreach. And this isn't the paid version. Okay. This is just going out and reaching out to people on LinkedIn. And I started doing it for recruiting agents when I started building a team. And I had massive success doing it that way. Sending people to a webinar, getting people on my email list, following up automatically through the email, things like that. But what I found not too long ago is started doing it for life insurance leads, generating life insurance appointments to unsaturated niche demographics that have a high net worth, and found so much success with it that I'm teaching agents to do it now, and they're supplementing what they're doing. Some of them supplementing their lead purchasing, doing it this way, supplementing their cold calling, doing it this way, and some of them are only doing organic through LinkedIn, and making a good amount of net profits doing it that way. So it's definitely a highly profitable way of generating appointments if you know what you are doing. Okay, there's a very strict method that I've formulated over 3 years of doing it. And so, yeah. Anyway, so the math to organic only, okay, doing it the right way, right? So we're not talking, going out and doing seminars at senior centers, which that would be organic still, but we're not talking about doing something like that. We're not talking about going to networking events, right? Or going to dinners and going to business owner lunches to pass out your business card and stuff like that. No networking. Okay. What we're talking about is actual methods that are actionable and ways that you can find an unsaturated niche demographic and get your message to them, qualify them, see if they're a good fit for what you're doing, and set an appointment and close them. And to do all of that in good timing, okay? Not just passing out a business card and just praying and hoping that, someone will call you one day, right? But this is actually going straight to the people that can make decisions and going straight to the appointment, okay? So, number one, agent would develop an unsaturated high-income niche. Number two, this is the math to organic only. You'd get an average of $1,200 or higher annualized premium per sale, okay? Because these are high-income individuals. You wouldn't target people that don't make a lot of money, that don't really need a lot of life insurance, right? You would get an average of 21 to 34 appointments every single month with predictability. An average brand new agent with no experience would close about 1 out of 6 appointments. Okay, so that's including no-shows. Okay, that's including the percentage of people that might no-show you. So let's say you have 6 appointments that you scheduled through these organic methods, right? And let's say 50% no-show. So that means you only have 3 people out of 6 where you can actually make a presentation to, and you would close 1 out of those 3 presentations. So it's 1 out of 6 in the grand scheme of things. Okay, does that make sense? So this would equal 3.5 to 5.6 sales per month. And with this average annualized premium, which is actually a lowball number, you would average about 4,200 to 6,720 annualized premium every single month. Okay, with predictability again. All right. So with an example of, let's say you had a 120% commission contract, all right, this equals to $5,040 to $8,064 in commissions per month. And we're not going to include advances there because I don't know what you kind of advance you have. Okay, I'm not going to talk about the cancellations and chargebacks and things like that. I'm just going to talk about the raw money so you can kind of see what this could possibly do for you, right? So why is this so powerful? Okay, this is all with virtually zero expenses. Okay, virtually zero expenses. You're not spending $500 to $1,000 on leads or advertising every single week just to barely make a profit, right? Because you hear all these agents, oh well, I wrote over $100,000 in my first year, which I did as well. But guess what? After lead cost, after gas, car repairs, oil changes, going out to eat every day, all these different things, you're left with a very slim margin. Okay. So no advertising or lead costs, no office rent. Okay. What I'm talking about, the organic methods, the right way, this is focusing on net profits first. We don't care about writing a gazillion policies every month. We don't care about being the number one agent. We care about actually paying the bills and getting the highest net profits that you possibly can. Okay. So the logistics to organic only the right way. Okay. Now I'm going to hurry up through here. So less is more. Because you make more per client, you're still highly profitable, even with only 1 or 2 appointments per day, right? Because if you were to go back to the numbers here where I'm talking an average of 21 to 34 appointments per month, if you were to average that, a 5-day work week, right? It's only, 1 or 2 appointments per day, right? But still, even though you're not seeing all these people and having all this activity, guess what? You're still highly profitable. Okay. You're not having to worry about spending too much time in an appointment because you might not make it on time for your next one, right? Which would happen to me all the time when I was spending $1,000 plus every single week on leads. I would miss appointments. I wouldn't be able to make it to the next one because I would be so jam-packed. I would have to book my calendar so jam-packed and I'd have to rush through some appointments, right, to get to the next one. And so that would factor in on my closing percentage, and missing another appointment. Well, that could have been a buyer, right? And so there's just different ways. The logistics just don't really work out when you're spending all this money on leads. You waste a lot, okay? And your net profits aren't as high again. But because you only have 1 or 2 appointments a day, right, it's okay. And you don't have to worry about all that other stuff because you're going to make it to every single appointment no matter what, because it's not hard to make it to 2 appointments, even if they're really spread out, right? So you're not worrying about medical exams, parameds, or extensive follow-up while waiting for the client to get approved, since it's all instant issue term business. Okay. And if you're more advanced, you can use this system to do index universal life, and you can use the system to do annuities as well. Okay. There's no ups and downs of paid leads / ads, right? As in some weeks you have too many leads, other weeks you barely have any. That's what would happen doing Facebook ads, doing direct mail leads. There's some weeks where I would have, way too many leads, wouldn't be able to see all the people. So then the ones I wouldn't be able to see got stale, right? Again, money wasted with the logistics. And then other weeks I wouldn't have enough leads. So I'd be kind of just twiddling my thumbs all day, right? So at the end of the day, you have complete control over your own destiny with organic only. Okay. You don't have to worry about if your manager is giving you the good leads or giving the good leads to another agent in your backyard. You don't have to worry about maybe if you're having a couple bad weeks and then your manager, this is what happened to me, manager starts giving you all the leads that are 18-year-old kids, or they start giving you all the leads that are 84-year-old single men, just people that aren't really the best type of leads, to sell life insurance to. You don't have to worry about that because you're the creator of your own destiny. You're controlling your lead and appointment flow yourself. You don't have to worry about if you're getting resold B leads, if your lead vendor's ripping you off, just giving you old stuff from another agent or recycling you leads. You don't have to worry about all that, which is awesome. You can sleep way better at night. Okay. So let me talk about phase number 2 of my evolution as an insurance agent, which is paid leads only. Okay, I'm going to try to be as transparent as possible about this, and I'm going to try as much as possible not to be biased about this, because I think by this point in the video, you know exactly where I stand, right? So I'm going to be as transparent. I'm going to tell you the positives and the negatives, all right? All right, so paid leads only. It's great because it kept me busy. I always had a full calendar of people to talk to, which in sales, that's what you want, right? You want to have a full calendar of highly qualified people to talk to so you can make as many presentations as possible. And if you make a ton of presentations, you'll make a ton of sales. So it's really great for that, okay? I did sell a lot of policies month after month with great predictability through paid leads as well, okay? The problems with it is it's hard to scale up, okay? Since drive time is a very big factor with it, okay? I kind of talked about that a moment ago when I talked about having to jam-pack people in my calendar back to back to back, and I would miss some of the appointments. I'd have to rush through some presentations and, miss the sale because I knew I have to hit traffic and go to the next appointment. So there's a lot of kind of holes in the system of paid leads. There's a lot of holes where the water comes out and where you lose time. You lose and waste time. You lose and waste money. But at the end of the day, what they say is, well, hey, as long as you're making a lot of money at the end of the day, that's what the name of the game is. You can, even though you're wasting a bunch of appointments, you're no showing people, and you're not able to see everybody or talk to everybody, it's okay because you're still making a lot of sales. But as you will see with the math, okay, here in a second, the net profits are very low because you have to spend so much money on leads. So as I scaled from 15 leads per week to 35 paid leads per week, the net profits per client got lower and lower because in any business, there's a cost per acquisition of a client, right? There's a certain amount of marketing dollars or advertising dollars that it takes in order for you to gain one client. And because I had to see more and more people and my logistics got worse and worse and worse, the more leads I bought, well, I started working more for less. Okay, I started working more hours, being away from my family more and more and more. And as time went on, I made less and less and less. Okay. And since the niche that I focused on was very, very saturated, right? The low-hanging fruit were almost non-existent. They were gone. Okay. What's left when there's a highly saturated niche demographic that, almost every agent is going after, okay? What's left is sick, low income, no bank account, low paying clients. And that's the honest to God truth, right? It was very hard, to make a living and to continue to bankroll and to continue to buy more and more leads when the more leads I bought, the more sick people I saw. So I'd have to sell guaranteed issue. And as you know, you don't get paid very good on guaranteed issue, right? And then a lot of times you don't get an advance on it, right? So you can't. So it's almost like a loss there. And then the no bank account people, well, any business that has a high percentage of people that become your clients that don't have bank accounts, it's kind of laughable. I don't think it's ever a good idea to enter into any business that has a lot of people that don't have bank accounts, right? There's nothing to explain about it. It just doesn't make sense. Imagine going into Shark Tank and being like, yeah, 25% of my clients don't even have bank accounts, and 75% of my clients are in poverty. They would laugh you out of the Shark Tank. You'd be the laughing stock on the show, right? But yet there's so many agents that focus on the final expense niche. And well, you guys can kind of see the results. There's a high turnover with it, right? So I did make $100,000 gross in deposits in my bank account in the first full year of selling life insurance face-to-face, okay? Selling final expense. I did. That's the goal, right? Most agents out there, when they get into it, they want to know, can I make $100,000? And the answer is yes, you can. And all the recruiters that are saying, hey, you can make $100,000, you definitely can. They are not lying. But what they don't tell you is after all the lead cost, after all the expenses when it comes to food, just leads, everything, it leaves you with very little net profits, right? As one of my agents said before, gross profits feed the ego, net profits feed the family. Okay. So when all these IMOs are talking about, wow, we had over 100 agents last year make over $100,000. Well, that's awesome. Well, but you don't know how much they spent on leads. They all could have spent $75,000 on leads and only profited $25,000, and nobody would know, right? Because they focus so much on the gross. They focus so much on the big numbers. They want people to do big numbers, sell a lot of policies. They don't focus on the net profits, which in business, that is what really matters. The net profits are king. Okay. You could make $1 million a year and then spend $1 million. And what are you going to go brag to people that, you made $1 million this year? No, because you're broke, right? So net profits always win. Remember that. So in simple terms, I had a high effort, high expenses, and acquired a high amount of clients, right? But the net profit was low for the effort, okay? And if someone would have told me, yeah, you're going to make $100,000 gross, but you're going to spend literally, before preparing for this video, I went and opened up my tax returns, and I looked exactly to how much money I spent on advertising or leads. Okay. And that year I spent literally $51,382 on leads. So the net profit, it's not that impressive, right? After you spend all this money on leads. All right. So hopefully that gave you a good perspective on organic methods. And I hope that gave you a lot of perspective on paid leads as well. Okay. And so this is where it gets really, really awesome. This is where it gets really, really fun. Okay. Phase 3, mixture of organic and paid leads. All right. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let me move my picture over there. All right. So going back to the numbers of organic, okay. In simple form, about $5,000 to $8,000 in commissions per month coming in with great predictability through organic or free lead generation methods. You can easily then supplement with paid leads to get more appointments if you want more activity, which, by the way, what I teach agents to do, what I've really focused on is, hey, if you want even more appointments, if you're low on time, hire a virtual assistant to do cold calling for you or to do the social media, outreach for you. And you can supplement your appointments that way, right? But there are some agents that still like the paid leads. For whatever reason, they want to pay for Facebook ads and things like that. So I'm just going to give you this option, right? even though I believe that, agents can make great money without ever spending a dime on leads or advertising. But for all those agents out there that they just like the paid lead method, which it is attractive, it's little to no effort, right, to generate leads through paid methods. So that's the attraction of it. Okay. But I did want to slow down and let you know for a second that you can still make a great income without ever buying leads if you wanted to. Okay. But this is where it gets really interesting. So self-created Facebook ads. So not going and paying an IMO, not going and paying a lead vendor. Okay. But self-creating your own Facebook ads targeting the same unsaturated niche. Okay. With a goal of 10 to 15 leads per week by keeping the ad spend low, $5 to $15 per day to start, the Facebook algorithm, okay, will give you a lower cost per lead. You can get very cheap leads paying only $5 to $15 per day to start, okay? And by self-generating the Facebook leads, you continue to create your own destiny by controlling the quality. Again, you don't have to worry about if someone is reselling you leads or giving your leads to somebody else or waiting a week before giving them to you and things like that. Okay, you're the creator of your own destiny because you're generating it yourself. You know without a shadow of a doubt, hey, this is a great lead and it's okay to spend a ton of time trying to track down the people, to get an appointment to make the sale. Your efforts never feel like they're in vain. Does that make sense? So paid leads or paid ads are a completely different animal. You still have to understand that. So it does take a more honed in strategy and presentation in order to master. That's why I always suggest agents start with organic. Okay. And until you are making at least $5,000 in net profits per month with organic methods, don't even try to do the paid lead methods. Okay. Don't even try to generate your own leads on Facebook. Okay. Why is that? Because you want to practice. You want to get your presentation down. You want to understand your clients. You want to understand your niche, and you want to, really get good at what you are doing. All right. So if the paid leads don't pan out immediately, you always have the predictable organic methods to fall back on while you continue to test. That's also a great reason why you never stop the organic. You always continue the organic appointment setting methods. Okay. That way, if the paid leads methods go up and down and one day they don't work, one day they do work, you still have the organic to fall back on. Right. So that basically ends the video. I just wanted to share with you exactly, kind of what I've been doing and how my marketing and sales methods have evolved over time and how you might be able to learn from it. If you want to learn more about what I do, what I help agents do, okay, what you can do is in the link below and maybe somewhere on this video, I'm going to put a link for you to schedule a call with me or someone on my team. Okay, and we can answer questions and let you know a little bit more about exactly how we could help you. Okay, so yeah, either you see on the screen or in the description below or in the comments below, you're going to see a link. Click on that link and you can schedule a call right there on the website. And yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that and how you can stop making your IMO rich, stop making the lead vendor rich, and how you can start focusing on net profits, right? Focusing on net profits instead of focusing on these huge numbers. And then at the end of the day, you really don't make a lot of money, right? So hope you guys liked the video. Go ahead and smash the like button, hit subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. You take care.